So the question is, are you ready to go? Are you ready to get into this right now? I hope so. So I'm really happy that you're here and that we continue with the quantum body seminar. And let's see. So I'm always talking about visitors here. I don't know why that happened, but it is like that. So we have one visitor today. Her name is the Mother. And we have another, set of, articles that I sent you about miraculous healing. And so there's, stuff going on. The actual title of this class would be Silent Witness. And that sounds very mysterious and very, different. So what it is going to be, you are going to discover with me, because, who knows what is going to be given. But first of all, since we're talking about body, quantum body, I would like to slow down and to quiet down too. Just in order to come to the place where we start to recognize the true nature of ourselves, at least come closer to that, or having a moment of peace or having a moment of quiet, because that's our starting point with everything that we do, just to make sure that we leave the past behind, and then that past ideas are gone and we leave them behind. We're not going to apply them here. So the past associations are gone too. Like I can say, okay, this book that I'm going to use today is like the mind of the cells. Yeah, I've read that. And it's like, well, no, you did not. You did not read that. Because that's the past, that's over, that's gone. And this is a brand new moment. So that's really important to remember. In case you want to experience something else. If you want to experience the same, just keep bringing in the past. But since you decided to have a different experience altogether of yourself, we're going to do it really different this time. And what that means, I don't know, because nobody has invented it yet. It is going to be given to us in this moment. So it's not made, it is experienced. And so the more open we are, the more receptive, the more we come into the present moment, the more complete it will be as an experience for you. And this is the part that is so important in this class, in this meeting that we have. It's it depends on that. It's a great opportunity for you to expand your awareness, your consciousness, and see that there's things possible that you had no idea about. So today we're actually diving into the physiology, if you want. So the physiology of awakening. The silent witness is then the changes in this physical system, and the changes in experiencing this, the physical changes in awakening. And so in order for you to experience all that, there's this quiet moment. It's really important, absolutely. But I want to read something from the Mother, and that is this. It's based on an idea of literally descending into the body, and the body not being the limited idea that you hold about your physicality, but it goes further than that. And so listen to it with open ears. It is a beautiful description that she gives of her experience, and you might recognize more than you think of it. And that's what happened to me when I read it. It's like, wow. But now I'm going to have a new experience because the past is over. And this is just brand new. Okay, so here from the mind of the cells, then the descent into the body. Here's a part where the mother is speaking, and Mother Aurobindo. Like, to have the body experience, you must live in your body. That's why the sages and the saints of old didn't know what to do with their body. They went out of it, sat meditating, and then the body is just out of the picture. It's like transcending the body, but not going into it. A tremendous battle against millennial habits. So these are just expressions of her, and you just let them come in. When you come down to the body, when you want to make it take one step forward, or not even one step, just a small step, everything starts grating. You seem to have stepped on an anthill. As soon as you want to progress, you immediately run into the resistance of everything in you and around you that does not want to progress. Well, is that recognizable or what? It's like, as soon as you want to progress, you immediately run into the resistance of everything in you and around you that does not want to progress. The distance to be covered between the body's habitual state, this almost total unconsciousness, which we are used to because that's the way we are, kind of, between quotes, and the perfect awakening of consciousness. The response of all the cells, all the organs, all the functionings between the two. There seem to be centuries of work. I really love this. This is so great. So the distance to be covered between the body's habitual state, like the thing that you used to, just the way it is, just the way we are, just all that you have accepted as your human concepts about yourself, all the things that are comfortable to you. And on the other side, the perfect awakening of consciousness. You see that there's an immediate resistance to everything in you and around you to go into that. It's like to come into that change from one to the other, from allowing that light to enter into your body, from all that. And also how the body starts to function when you're awakening. It is all different. So between the two states of one of the comfortability and the habituality, like it's habitual what's going on. Your body is literally like programmed to so many things. And then you start to read. You start to read Joel Goldsmith. You start to read A Course in Miracles. You start to read whatever spiritual literature you're reading. Suddenly something opens in you and actually affects all the cells in your body. They start to shake and rattle and rum. And that's like really like an insertion. And insertions into systems never look the way that you think. Like you could say like 9/11 was a light insertion. And you say like, well, no, it was a plane crashing into a thing. No, like, well, you can see it like an insertion too, into a system. It's like a light insertion into a system. Suddenly on every corner of the street, people are praying. They never before prayed on the corner of the streets in the center of New York City, for instance. So you can say like, wow, that is entering in this like communal system that we have set up for something. We recognize that as an insertion, like wow, something really has been shaken up. So this is the same with your bodily systems. Like the light enters your system. So now your cells are, recognizing it. But the memories and the sleepiness of your cells, the unconscious response of your cells, can tell you a totally different story, and might not look that you want it at all. You feel resistance, you feel heaviness, sleepiness, drowsiness, all this. You can have all kinds of experiences. And cramping in the neck, whatever. So all side effects of you recognizing the new light that is coming to you. See, and I'm not sharing this to make it true and confirming it like, yes, that's what's going on. No, it's just a matter of awareness. So I literally go through it just for you to recognize this and hook up with me in terms of the process that we're walking. And so I might as well just admitting every step along the way, just like the mother does here. It's like, this is what is happening. So you take a little small step, like you have a glimpse of light. You have a glimpse of light. And look, your whole world is going to be put upside down. Like if I speak for myself, in my awakening, my initial awakening experiences, I have an instant of, a deep recognition with the wholeness of me. It's like my relationship with every aspect of the universe for just a blink of a moment. And see, it turns over. Everything is different after that. My whole physical system is in a release for months, just because it recognizes what is going on. It recognizes, and it cannot hold the memory any longer of doing the things as you are used to, because that's the way we are. That's the way we're doing the things. That's like, this is what we call an insertion. It's like it comes in and it turns around everything, like beyond your imagination. And that was just a very small step, and look what happens. So this is amazing. So I'm happy that she writes this down. So then let me see here. I will repeat once more because it's so much fun to read it. The distance to be covered between the body's habitual state, this almost total unconsciousness, which we are used to because that's the way we are. And the perfect awakening of consciousness, the response of all the cells, all the organs, all the functionings between the two. There seem to be centuries of work. So and then she goes into the idea of death. Death is not an inevitable thing. It's an accident which has always happened until now, which at least seems to have always happened until now. And we have taken it into our head to conquer and overcome that accident. But it is such a terrible and such tremendous battle against all the laws of nature, all the terrestrial habits, that unless you are a first-class warrior, frightened by nothing, it's better not to start the battle. You have to be an absolutely dauntless hero, because at every step and every second you have to wage battle against all that is established. So it's not very easy. See, talking about the conversion, the change of you in your recognition of truth, walking this earth. It's like literally you knowing you're not a body and that there's no such thing as death, going to a funeral, for instance. Like I know I did. And it's like, look at that, what you're doing. You know there's no such thing as death. You walk around there, people crying, people suffering, people because the loved one has been gone. And that is tremendous. So to stand there and just allow this all to convert, so to speak, to be changed, because you cannot accept it as a reality anymore. That does something with you. Like it says here, it's like everything that you've believed in, you actually step right into that. Everything you believed, you see now, step by step, being undone by just your presence. Like that's huge, that's tremendous. So if you're not brave, you will not do it. If you're not adventurous, you will not do it. Because it is like, no, why not pick up an old habit? It's much easier. But you cannot do that any longer. So there must be something that is really calling you to do this. Or you must be, say, convinced of the pain that comes with a limited perceptual idea about yourself, like your human life. I'll read the last sentence one more time. You have to be an absolute dauntless hero, because at every step, every second, you have to wage a battle against all that is established. So it's not very easy. And even individually, it's a battle against yourself, because if you want your physical consciousness to be in a state that will bring about physical immortality, you have to be so free that all that the physical consciousness now represents, that it's a battle of every second. All feelings, all sensations, all repulsions, everything that exists is the fabric of our physical life, has to be overcome, transformed, and freed from all its habits. It's every second a battle against thousands and millions of adversaries. Okay, so we heard that. So the next paragraph that I'm going to bring in, and then I'll stop for a moment with reading, is this. The body is learning one thing, so that's why I want to mention this. It's all that happens is for progress. All that happens is for reaching the true state, the one that is expected of the cells, so that the realization may be accomplished. Even the blows, even the pains, even the apparent disorganizations, all that is on purpose. And it's only when the body takes it in the wrong way, like a fool, that things get worse. Okay, so I'm leaving that for what it is now. So all that happens is for progress. All that happens is for reaching the true state, the one that is expected of the cells, so that the realization may be accomplished. So, and this is not just like dramatic literature, or no, not at all. It's like it tells you about the reality of the process you're in, and you certainly recognize that by now. It's like, yeah, absolutely. There's parts that I feel like, am I going crazy here? Now, what is this world telling me? I'm doing the opposite thing. Or I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do according to the world's ideas. Or say with the physicality, with the experience of your body, allowing things to change just by themselves and not act and run to your medical doctor, or not do this or not do that. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but it's more like in this process you discover that the process that's going on is not going to be recognized by a doctor. And it is changes going on, and it's different. It's really different. So that's huge. So it's for the brave, so to speak. It's for the ones that really want to do this. That's why you're here in this class, and you say like, yes, I recognize that, and yeah, this is what I do. Even not knowing what you're doing. Because the greatest process that is taking place is not even very conscious at all. But you are attracted to come back to this process, to this training, because you signed up for it. It's a bit like that. Like, I signed up for it. I know that. I signed the contract. Or maybe in my sleepy dream I signed the contract, but yeah, it's still going on. It tells me that if I allow this to happen to me, I will wake up out of the dream of limitation and death. And yes, I cannot stand the pain any longer to undergo, to be a human being and live by its rules and its limitations. That's not acceptable to me anymore. So there's literally no way back for me in that. So and I use this specific part because, there's different ways of dealing with this in terms of, so what is the physical process that is taking place, and how can you take care of yourself in that? So that's the part that becomes interesting to me, and I love to share some of that from my own experience with you. And that's great that we have time now to talk about that, in fact. So one of the things that I discovered for myself is the, continuous active doing of the mind. It will stimulate you to do things in order for you to be comfortable. And but actually it are more distractions than anything else. So to learn to come to this quiet place and do nothing, you can't believe in the beginning that works quicker than your doings. But you have to learn yourself. So I did it this way, and this is actually funny. It's like, instead of making to-do lists, I made to-undo lists. And those were very effective for some time that I used them. They were very effective because of the fact that to undo doesn't mean that I have to do it. So I can see that some of the things that are on the list suddenly dissolve, that there's no need for them to do anymore because it is already done, or someone else did it for me. It's like, I'm willing to take care and take responsibility for this, but it doesn't mean that I have to do it all. And this is really great. So you discover that you're connected, and that more and more of the things that you can imagine that need to be done are taken care of for you. You don't have to do them. So that works quicker than a to-do list, because a to-do list is heavy, and it is like it causes stress. So physical stress it causes. And with the to-undo list, it becomes more like an adventure. It's like, how is this going to be undone? I'm curious to see what happens. So this is very practical, but it works. At least it is the way to go through this process of not thinking that you have to do it all, or that it has to be done in a certain way. But no, you're open for anything that can help you to have this be dissolved, in fact. So that's another thing. So then the other part too that makes your system, your physical system, quieter and relaxeder is to take moments, break during the day. This is nothing new, especially not if you're a bit more trained, like the ones here in class. Like you know this. Like, you take time during the day to quiet down. Take just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can do to come to yourself, to breathe, and to let yourself be realigned again, to at least try to let go of these occupation that you think you need to do, and you're where you're actually just in the in the tension of them, thinking that you cannot let go of them in order for it to succeed. Well, I had to learn that. It took ages for me, but I learned it, which is great. So if I focused my mind on something, I wanted to finish it right away without a break. And whether that was totally exhausting or I didn't care for a moment for that. But now it's like, that's not necessary. That's not necessary. You can take time to bring this quiet rhythm into your life and to have moments of peace during your day, and remember that you can have them. And so that's another great point, which is really has a great impact on your physicality, on your experience of yourself in the awakening. So then that's one thing. To rest well, to not exhaust yourself, like to rest well, take time for a good sleep, take time for resting, take time for just reading and read one sentence or totally, or instead of reading a lot and exhausting yourself by floating into what you read. So these are not really like ways of behavior, how we should do it. I'm just saying that this is, for me, a way to calm down my system, and it has helped me to become present in what I do. And you see that there's the possibility here to have continuously a decision, because you have to look at it in the right way. Just what the mother says, to look at what you're doing. So don't overload yourself with all the things that you think that you have to almost like do extra in order to be and a human being and an awakening entity. You know, as if you still have to fulfill your human goals and destiny. No, you don't have to do that. And you cannot believe that until you let go of it. Then you see, oh my God, look at that. No, there is a provision. The universe wants you to wake up and to be, say, supported by the universe. That will fall into place. So don't expect from yourself to do all at the same time. Like you have a tremendous job, so to speak, with waking up. It's huge, and it doesn't mean that you have to sit on the couch only the whole day and not doing anything. No, it is, you can do things. You will be shown too. But to choose for quiet more than you're used to can be a real help in speeding up for you the depth of your experience. So that's another good thing. It's like you can have a job. Like if you behave like a human being, you have a job maybe, you have children, you have your hobbies, you have your, say, birthday parties, you have your work parties, you have your all these things. And if you think that you have to do all that in order for you to in fact satisfy your surroundings or something, like no, that is not what is asked of you. But you find a way in taking more time. There will be a real, say, asking for it by yourself to have that. So it sorts itself out, is what I'm saying. You can take time for that. You can allow yourself more time for that than you probably do now. And I'm talking to myself too, absolutely. Like, it's great to have a break. No, you don't have to do that. No, wait a minute. Just first, let's just be quiet, like this. So this is the way I started to prepare the classes too. I discover for myself, if I try to prepare the class 2 hours before the class starts and start reading and going with it, so to speak, then I'm kind of exhausted before the class starts. When I take it easy the last 2 hours before class. I feel like, wow, everything is going to fall so beautifully into place. I can't believe it. I can feel it, like it's forming itself. It's coming. It's going to be given completely to me. Wow, I love that. So and I feel, yeah, I'm just doing this. Like it's all going to be given. How this works, you know. So there's not much asked in that sense of you in doings, more in taking time for yourself to process all this, to let this be processed for you, and with all the cellular change that is occurring. All right, so that's that part. So I'm stopped talking about that now. So we're entering into a miraculous procedure now, and did you know that your body is that young, that you actually have a body that can only be like probably like maximum, if you would do like a carbon test on it, like a radioactive carbon test to check out how old your body is, it would probably be like 1 year. So you read these details, but I love to read them again because I think it's a very funny list. I had no idea. But it's great to read it. So I send it to you. For the ones in class, I send it to you. And the natural process of miraculous healing. So I'm going to read the details of the physicality in this, which is so much fun. 98% of the atoms in your body were not there a year ago. The skeleton that seems so solid to you was not there 3 months ago. The configuration of the bone cells only seemed constant. Atoms of all kinds pass freely back and forth through the cell walls, and you acquire a new skeleton every 3 months. Your skin is all new every month, so you cannot look old. It is just 1 month old. You have a new stomach lining every 4 days. The actual surface cells that contact food are renewed every 5 minutes. The cells in your liver turn over slowly, but new atoms flow through them, like water in a river course, making a new liver every 6 weeks. The content of carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen in your brain is totally different today than from a year ago. All of these body cells are continually demonstrating their universal rejuvenating capacity. And here it says, well, but you insist on functioning as a static, non-creative retention. You call it my body, of an objective aggregation of mechanical specialization. Like if you see yourself as a fixed object, as a body, as an static thing that is a certain age, and then what do you see? That's exactly what you're going to see. So it's like, don't underestimate what you do with the power of your mind. You literally keep it in place. You want to prove to yourself that you're this and this, and that you're that and that, and that you're that age, and that you're, well, you had your things and all of this. It's like you can't believe that, yeah, you do that, you know, until you don't, of course. So here's then the invitation, and that's where the mother comes in then again with, this is for the brave, in the sense of let go of these ideas that you established about the body being a static thing. It's not static at all. It's like it is continuously moving around. It's like it's one incredible energy exchange. And there's no such thing as aging in that. And you want to see the truth about that. Why not? It can be much fun to see that the body heals itself continuously. It's inevitable. unless you hold on to an idea that it is like that and that's the way it is and that's the way we are, then that is the result you're going to see. So that's huge. It's like it's a huge key that is given in this. Maybe it's not too factual because it says like atoms flow freely through, like probably molecules is what they mean. But the molecules are, say, consist out of atoms. But anyway, these are details. So the essence of it is absolutely on the mark, because it's literally you are manifesting an idea of the body, and that's what you're seeing. That's what is functioning. And what the mother says too is like most of your cells are just living this totally unconscious until the light starts literally penetrating your cells and giving them different information. But up to that point, it just repeats a cycle that we have been repeating for lifetimes. So here we are in our awakening in this quantum body class, like being hit over the head with facts of awakening, that when it comes really close to you, you can feel something that you might call resistance, or maybe not. Maybe you're totally excited and want to know more about it. That's great too. Like luckily in all of this, we're talking about miraculous healing. It is a miracle that you heal. It is a miracle that you've heard this message. It's amazing that this came to you, that there's such thing as spiritual healing. But it asks of you to become that principle. It asks of you everything, the world you see, the convictions you had, all the ideas that you had about it are being undone. All the ideas that you had about yourself are being undone because you're not what you think you are. So that was where it all went wrong in the first place. So now seeing that falls away, entering into a whole different place altogether, the space that is suddenly there is then the recognition of one's true self and the happiness that it brings just because the happiness is what you are. So you literally become that because you have always been that, and that is not the you as you know yourself. So in order to have this fully in your awareness, you go through this process that we're in right now. You see that everything is changing and new ideas come to you. Everything is shaken loose. It's like there's cracks in your construct that you made for yourself. Parts are falling away, and it is all totally different, like one huge disillusionment, in fact. So it's okay in this process, even that you feel yourself sad, that you feel like you're grieving, like losing your best friend kind of feeling. That also is part of the process that you go through. Because you are losing the things that you valued so much. You're losing the habits. You're letting go of the habits that you were so used to and gave your life like a certain kind of comfort. No, that's taken too. And it's not that's just been taken. So that's why the quiet times and the taking time to be with yourself and allowing yourself to be the one that is waking up for yourself, giving that whole idea space, makes it a different experience, makes it easier for you to fall into that and feel yourself supported and see that it's at work. Like if you would stay in your doing mind, like distracting yourself continuously, you would miss the depth of this experience. The replenishing aspect of it. And you need that in order to continue this in a happy way. Otherwise, it's like dragging, and it seems to be against your will all the time, and then you go fight your little fight. So in that sense, it is you give up the fight against yourself. It's the war against yourself that you're giving up. That's where it starts with. That gives you the space for something else to occur. All right, so see if I can share one more thing with you. Let me see. To connect any holy instant to the healing of your apparent body disease is much simpler than you heretofore suspected. It is in fact not a doing at all. You are always being healed completely each moment, despite of your self-constructed objection. Remember, you are suffering from the disease of projected self-identification. All you need to do is rise up and say, I have no use for this, and there's no form of sickness that would not be cured at once. The world changes as you change your mind. Those who are healed become the instruments of healing. Nor does time elapse between the instant they are healed and all the grace of healing it is given them to give. Do not allow your brother to be sick, for if he is, you have abandoned him to his own dream of sharing it with him. Could you but realize for an instant the power of healing that the reflection of God shining in you can bring to all the world, you could not wait to make the mirror of your mind clean to receive the image of the holiness that heals the world. Could you but realize for an instant the power of healing that the reflection of God shining in you can bring to all the world, you could not wait to make the mirror of your mind clean to receive the image of the holiness that heals the world. So is that what is going on? Is that where you find yourself? Is this what is happening in your life? Is this the change that is occurring? Well, you want that to be a very conscious process too. You want to be part of that process in your awareness. You want that to have that in your awareness by taking time to listen to it, to see what is occurring. So that's so great. So thank you so much for being part of this class and taking time to allow this to come to you, and let yourself be shaken up by it, so to speak. It's great. Thank you so much for doing so, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.